Okay, guys, I thought I'd bring up some things that are annoying me. Um, Something that kind of annoys me lately is this I'm offended thing. And being offended because you're not happy. You're not happy about everything. You have something bad to say about somebody or something, and you're supposed to always be happy and always be chipper and act like something that's wrong with something that you've seen in a movement or something you've seen in a person. Um, to say that that's wrong is something you shouldn't do. To say like I don't like that or that's not cool or whatever like that. People have this inherent need anymore to find something to be offended for, even if there's nothing offensive in anything. They and I can say it completely that it has come out of the feminist mindset that people have this inherent need to be a victim and to find something to offend them because they feel um, it's in the same area as the people who want to subjugate other people for their religious beliefs while imposing their religious beliefs on other people, you know. And so I'm not supposed to have free speech to talk about things that I feel because you're offended, you know. And other people that might understand what I'm talking about or what might want to have a logical conversation about it can't because you're offended. I'm sorry, your offense to anything that I'm doing or anything I have to say or anything I want to do in my life doesn't affect me. I don't care. Nobody should care. If I lived my life worrying about what other people thought, I would have a shitty life. I may as well just go into a cemetery, dig a hole, and pull the dirt in on myself. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about anything I'm doing, anything I'm saying, anything I want to do. I don't care. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It never will have anything to do with you. And if I know you, and the chances are, anybody that's listening to this, if you think somebody else's thoughts about you is important, think about people you knew 10 years ago. Do you still know them? Do you know their phone numbers? Do you know where they live? Do you know them other than maybe a person on Facebook? The chances of somebody who is offended by something you've said or something you're doing or the fact that I'm transgender or gay or anything like that, if somebody is offended by those things, chances are 10 years from now, especially if they're offended, they're not going to want to be your friends. So 10 years from now, you're not even going to know those people. You're not going to know where they are, you're not going to know where they live, and you're not going to give a fuck what they thought about you then. So why would you give a fuck about what they think about you now? You know, that's how I look at life. I don't worry about what other people think about me because it doesn't matter. You know, so I really get mad at these happy-go-lucky, everything's always sunny and bright, and you know, unicorns and fairy tales and all this kind of stuff. And I just think it needs to. People need to be able to discuss and be real. Be who you are and not pretend. And in that vein, something that really has bothered me is this thing I've been seeing, and it's people are being like ungenuine. It's this thought that starts from this grain. Because you listen to rap and R&B doesn't mean you're black, you know? And I see there's about 3 different types of transgender girls. And they typically, and gays as well, gay men and gay women. There's typically these 3 kinds of people. There's these black transgender sassy girls where they're trying to sound black, trying to act black, you know, this kind of thing, where they're doing all this kind of shit and not being honest, not being truthful, and it comes across in your videos, you know. Nobody thinks that's cool, you know. Maybe other people that do the same thing, but it's very fake, and it's not a shtick, you know. It's not something that people will look at and say like, wow, she's really like that. Because when you see these people out in open spaces and you meet them, they're not like that, which means they're putting on a show. And if you're going to be offended, that would be something to be offended about. But it would be blacks who should be offended that you're pretending to be a hip-hop R&B artist in your video, you know, or you're pretending to be a bitchy, sassy black woman, even though you're a white girl that grew up in the burbs, you know. And that kind of stuff really annoys me, you know, to see this very dishonest way of talking and being, you know. Like for me, I'm transgender, but I don't have a feminine sounding voice. You know, it might get more feminine when I take my T blockers and get on estrogen and stuff like that, but I'm not going to purposely try to change myself to fit in, because I don't really care, you know. I don't really care. I am who I am, you know. I'm transgender, and if people have something to say about that, I don't care. Doesn't matter, you know. Too many people nowadays are worried about what other people are going to think about you. What you need to do is be happy with yourself, and as a transgender person, that's hard to be. So, but a lot of what's the problem about being transgender and having those issues is you're worried about what other people think about you, not what you think about yourself. You think you don't look good enough because other people think you don't look good enough. And what you need to realize is what you think matters more than what other people think. Because if people don't like you and people are rude to you and stuff like that, you can quit your job, you can move, you can go someplace else, and you can start over again. And you can try to find some friends and people. So it doesn't really matter what other people think about you. And like I say, 10 years from now, those people who are commenting and being assholes to you, you won't know who they are. Chances are the first time you meet somebody, like say at a McDonald's or something, and they call you some name, a tranny or something like that, chances are you'll never, ever see those people again in your life. So there's no reason to even give them 2 seconds of thought, you know. I would just let them say what they're going to say and not even pay any attention to them, and just keep ordering your food, go sit down and eat. If you really feel threatened, get back in your car and drive off someplace down the street, sit there and eat your food in your car, and then, you know, go on about your day, and don't give it 2 seconds thought, you know. But there's those girls, you know, that think it's, I don't know, trendy or whatever, that think it's cool to sound like this sassy black bitch, you know, where they're snappy and, you know, all this kind of bullshit. Then we have the, oh my god, like, oh wow, you know. And then I was like, my makeup was like so awesome, and then it was like this guy told me, and I'm like, oh, we have these girls, you know, we all know those girls, and there's basically the dippy blonde bombshell from, you know, Hollywood, you know, these kind of girls. And there's all these transgender girls that are trying to be that. And this is the thing. If you're transgender and you want to stop being a man, or you want to stop being a woman and become your true self, why does your true self have to do with you pretending to be somebody that you're not? If you're transgender, that's who you are. But you're not some Hollywood bimbo. So why are you talking and trying to act like a Hollywood bimbo? It doesn't sound cool. If you have a video and you're doing videos and you're transgender, be yourself. Be who you are. You know? And the third people that don't piss me off are the ones that just act normal, who talk normal, who don't try to pretend to be something they're not, who just are who they are, you know. They might try to pretend to have a feminine voice and try to mimic their voice and make it sound more feminine and stuff like that. But I have more affinity to somebody who is trying to be who they really are instead of being a fake person, you know, because a fake person is never something I care to watch, you know, and it's not somebody that I would care to have friends with, you know. So I see some of these girls talking about how they're having problems finding boyfriends, how they're having problems finding, you know, mates and things like that, and it's because you're not being true. All the transgender girls talk about being true to yourself. Well, how can you be true to yourself if you're pretending to be somebody you're not? You know, if you're transgender, that's who you are. So why don't you be yourself and transgender? That's as far as you need to go. Worry about that. Don't worry about being some transgender girl that you think you should be because you watch some girl's videos on YouTube. Okay? That's not you. That's somebody else. And you shouldn't be trying to be like somebody else if you're trying to be your true self. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's what I thought I'd come on and talk to. Figure I might ruffle some feathers with this, but, you know, like I say, I don't really give a fuck either way. So hope you guys have a nice day. I did a little vacation and stuff, and trying to make some more videos. I want to get this channel built up a little bit more. My other channel is blowing up. I'm almost to like 1,000 subscribers, you know. So hopefully this channel will get bigger and bigger, because this is talking about something completely different from my last channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys got any comments, leave them in the section below. It's nice to hear from you guys. Most of my comments are great. I haven't got any feminist crazy bitches on here yet, so that's nice. I haven't got any really freaky people that have got on here and talked any crazy shit about me being trans, so that's nice. So yeah, share, like, and subscribe, and if you like what you're hearing or you got anything to say about it, leave it in the section below, and have a nice day.